guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp after the Reds, of course, got dumped out of the FA Cup yesterday at the hands of Brighton, meaning the FA Cup defence is over and done with. But what was interesting yesterday was the post-match press conference from Jurgen Klopp, in which he said that there will be no more new additions to this side going forward for what remains of the January transfer window. We're going to be talking about Liverpool's performance yesterday, the result yesterday, as well as what Jurgen Klopp said in his post-match press conference. But before we go any further and talking about that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both of them, as always, and forever be greatly appreciated. But for now, let's talk about Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and everything else in between. Look, yesterday was yesterday. Brighton were the better team. Brighton deserved the victory. They deserved to go through to the next round of the FA Cup. Liverpool were poor. There was improvement in certain areas. There was improvement in certain times yesterday. I think first half was particularly better than the rest. But then again, the bar wasn't exactly set high for performances in the first half, particularly this season. But ultimately, same result. It might have been a better performance since the last time we played Brighton. But then again, the bar wasn't exactly set high. So it was a different way of losing yesterday, but ultimately the result was the same. Liverpool got beat by Brighton, and rightfully so. And Brighton progressed to the next round of the FA Cup. Liverpool crash out with their title, with their cup defence in tatters. I will say a little bit fortuitous on Brighton's part. The equalising goal was a bit lucky, but take nothing away from them. Ultimately, very much deserved. They very much deserved to go through. Liverpool got worse as the game wore on. What was really telling was the substitutions. They meant to try and change the game for the better. They changed the game for the worse for Liverpool. And those were some of the first teamers as well. Some of the senior players of that squad that came on as the game wore on. And just did not change the game for the better at all for Liverpool. It was still very much poor. And that's really where these comments from Jurgen Klopp stem from. I can't believe he watched that yesterday and was like, I don't need to get on the phone here to FSG begging them to give me something or someone. This club seems absolutely shot right now. Shot of optimism, shot of excitement, shot of mentality. Everything that has made Liverpool so great these past few years, this club seems to be shot of. Whether it be the fan base, or whether it be the players, the coaches, even the manager is looking more and more tired and frustrated by the game. I can't believe he's come out and said that in a post-match press conference. I know there's only like a day left at the time of recording of this. I know that it closes late on Tuesday night, the January transfer window. But I can't believe they haven't got anyone lined up, or anyone to bring in, or anyone they can go to, slap the money on the table and say, we want to take this player. Just something just to get us over this season. Like, there has to be something, because when you look at that team yesterday, the players that have carried Liverpool so far can't carry us anymore. Particularly that midfield area. And once again, we'll go to the midfield area because, again, majority of our players that are actually fit enough and want to play enough are the midfield areas, but they're just not good enough. Or they're not playing, or they're not in the best of form right now. Fabinho's, I don't know what's happened to Fabinho, but his form completely nosedived off a cliff. It's baffling to me. Jordan Henderson does what Jordan Henderson does and, runs around a lot. Great. We need something a bit more than that now. He hasn't got it. Just, like I say, for the most part, absolute shambles. And I can't believe Klopp is watching that and not going, I need something here. I need something here. When you look at what remains of Liverpool's season, the expectation level, everything has been lowered. When you look at obviously yesterday, the performance weren't great. When you look at performances of past January, hasn't been great. It's actually reminded me of the early days on the clock where he'd go into January and Liverpool couldn't buy a win for love nor money. Liverpool often drop off in this time, and it feels like a bit of a throwback to that kind of thing because Liverpool have not won in January. Well, they have. It was the FA Cup third round, but even that had to go to a replay, and Liverpool were very fortunate that it actually went to the replay in the first place. Just an absolute shambles right now, and like I said it when I made a video on Liverpool a couple of weeks ago. Liverpool's season, in a few weeks' time, is going to be completely over. Premier League title race is a thing of dreams and is completely out of the question. The top four race looks like an ever-fading reality or expectation with each and every passing game. I know we're only halfway through the season, but Liverpool look a long way off the pace to be even trying to challenge for that. We're at the FA Cup. Carabao Cup's gone. The only thing we've got left is the Champions League. That's theoretically where all Liverpool's eggs should be, in that one Champions League basket. But who we got again? Who we got in the round of 16? Oh yeah, Real Madrid. Real Madrid, a team that's notoriously knocked a Jurgen Klopp Liverpool team out of that competition for the past several years that we've been challenging for that trophy. They beat us in last season's final. They beat us in the 2018 final. They beat us, I think, in the quarterfinal a couple of years after that 2017 final, I think, or 2018 final. It's gone. Completely gone. Once that final whistle goes on that second leg of that Real Madrid game in the round of 16 stage of the Champions League, that's when Liverpool's season's over. That is ultimately when Liverpool's season is over. I want to say, of course I want to say that Liverpool will pull off a miracle. Of course I want to say that Liverpool will pull off a seemingly unlikely victory. And let's face it, if there are going to be a handful of teams, particularly in the Champions League, in which you'd say they could spring a surprise, they could turn up on any given night in the Champions League and beat anybody, you're going to pick Liverpool as one of those teams. But A, it's against Real Madrid, who also have Champions League history and Champions League heritage themselves. And B, they don't look like they can beat anyone right now, Liverpool. Like, it's going to be a massive struggle for them. A massive, massive struggle. There's nothing. There's nothing. And like I say, when this club is in need of a bit of optimism and a little bit of excitement to be put into this club, we're only halfway through the season. We need something just to try and see out the rest of the campaign with. We're getting nothing again from the manager or the owners, and the manager seems to be taking the bullet a lot for FSG. And I've criticised FSG and said, whilst they've been a part of our most successful era of the Premier League era, now obviously many years, they haven't done enough. They've not done enough for this club, and they've not pulled their finger out enough for this club when it mattered most. What's even more frustrating is you look at Todd Bowley with Chelsea, you look at the amount of money he's spent in the short time that he's been there, and the difference is incredible. The difference is night and day of how he's come in, took that club by the scruff of the neck and said, we're doing it this way, we're changing the infrastructure, we're changing the team, here's all the money to do it. Go out and do it. Go out and spend it all. Go out and do this. Go out and do that. I'm going to do this, and this. You look at Arsenal, how far they've come in a few years under Arteta. Again, another a club that's backed the manager, backed him a lot, and are still going strong. They're looking to strengthen more in this January transfer window. You look at Man United, the way that they've rebuilt under Erik ten Hag. You look at Newcastle spending big. They've just spent 40 to 45 million on Anthony Gordon. You're looking around all these teams doing something, and you're looking at the one team that probably needs to do something to try and salvage anything from this season, to try and give the fans a bit of optimism going forward, some sort of excitement going forward, that maybe, just maybe, this season can still provide something incredible, and they're not doing it. Don't get me wrong, signing Cody Gakpo was something exciting at the time. It was something that was going to be intriguing at the time. It was something that I agreed with at the time. But I also said we needed a midfielder. And I said that this wasn't a priority. Gakpo isn't a priority. And he's going to take time to bed in. And he is taking time to bed in. You can see it. And he's taking even more time to bed in because we bought him as a goal-scoring creative winger that we're not playing on the wing. We're playing him as the striker, and he's not on the wing as we bought him for, as what we known him for, as what made a name for himself for. Instead, we're moving him into the not so unfamiliar position. He's very familiar with leading the line, but he's learning it in a new team with a slightly different role to how most people play their normal strikers. And he's learning it in a team that is shot of confidence, shot of mentality, shot of any improvisation, excitement, anything along those lines. It's just not happening for him right now. And although yesterday's performance was better from him than what we've seen so far, as a collective unit, as a squad, altogether, it's just not good enough. And I, for one, cannot believe that Klopp looks at that team, looks at the way the game unfolded yesterday, and doesn't simply go, we need something here. We need something. I know, like I say, that the January transfer window is closing at the time of recording tomorrow, very late on in the day. But at the same time, you know, you've had a whole month. You've had a whole month to do something. To get that team looking better, to get that team looking more exciting, more innovative, more with options, more with how the season's going, a bit of optimism, bit of excitement, try and get the fans back on board, everything else that goes along with that. And FSG have failed. And Klopp deserves to take a bit of the blame too. I think, like I said a couple of weeks ago in the video that I ranted on about Liverpool with, he's not entirely blameless in all of this in terms of how he's conducted himself a little bit, in terms of certain substitutions, certain tactics, certain formations, or not formations, but certain team selections, shall we say. Like I say, I think as Liverpool fans, we're just beaten down and tired of this. We're just exhausted of seeing the same rinse and repeat kind of style for the past several weeks now, and it's getting really, really, really boring. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any change to that, because these players are not playing good enough right now. These players look shot to pieces, and there's no injection of any excitement or optimism going forward, to the point now where we're just begging for this season to be over and done with. Begging for this season to be over and done with. And like I say, it'll all be about Premier League survival, in my opinion, after that Real Madrid game. I don't see us winning it. I want to say we're going to win it. I want to say that Liverpool will pull off another miracle in the Champions League, and we'll go on a big Champions League run. But it's just not going to happen, is it? I don't see it happening, and I want to see it happen, but it seems very unlikely. Liverpool are far off the pace in terms of everything on and off the pitch right now. And I think there needs to be a massive inquiry, massive inquest into what the hell has gone on this season. We can see it from the outside looking in, but is there something more interior going on? Is there something more in-house that's going on? Need a few more answers. But those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. This guy, I don't know what you guys think. What do you make of everything that's going on with Liverpool right now? What do you make of Liverpool going forward in terms of being knocked out of the FA Cup yesterday, in terms of the Champions League and the rest of the season, and of course what Jurgen Klopp said about no more new additions this January? I'd love to know what you guys thought, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, and all that kind of good stuff. on this particular topic down below in the comment section, because I'm sure it will make for interesting reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way up, enjoy the video, subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things always have very greatly appreciated, and as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch, this has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll see you all again soon in another video.